New this morning, a meth house busted in Albuquerque. Now the man police say was running it is set to be in court today. Investigators raided this home on Yorktown Avenue near Freedom Way Northeast yesterday afternoon. They say they found heroin, meth, and the stuff used to sell it. Officers arrested Mike Rooney there. He's now charged with drug trafficking and attempting to manufacture a meth lab.
A judge is expected to make a ruling today on whether you, the voter in Albuquerque, will get to vote on a proposed minimum wage hike in November. The city attorney is asking a judge to throw out the petition because of a typo. The group Olay that's behind the proposal says the mistake should not mean the issue can't get on the ballot. The judge is also expected to rule on when the issue can go on the ballot. County Clerk Maggie Oliver says it's better if it does go on the November ballot.
The best and easiest thing would be to place this question on the general election ballot.
Either side could appeal the decision to the state Supreme Court after today's decision. Well, we told you how ticket prices for the Albuquerque Zoo went up last week. Well, now it looks like the price could be going back down soon. A city council committee passed a bill that would lower ticket prices at the Albuquerque Zoo. City administrators, you see, raised tickets from $7 to $10 for adults, but city councilors never had a say. Now, councilors Debbie O'Malley and Ken Sanchez want all councilors to discuss it. They have proposed an ordinance that would raise the ticket prices, but only to $8 for adults and $3.50 for seniors and kids. The entire city council will take up the issue at its first meeting in October.
Well, this morning, Albuquerque Public Schools is trying to figure out how to deal with a big overcrowding problem at one of its most popular schools, North Star Elementary. In fact, North Star has 80 more kids than it's supposed to have right now, and some parents there think it's because other parents are lying about where they live. So last night, the district's leaders got parents together to talk about this problem.
All we're asking for is an accurate count of legally enrolled students at North Star to make sure we have accurate numbers before any boundary changes are made.
The district superintendent says there are a number of ways it could fix this overcrowding problem at North Star. Could add more portables if there is room, change the school schedule, and make parents prove they actually live in North Star's district. Well, a man who was in jail in Doña Ana County and killed another inmate there back in 2004 is spending his first full day in prison today. Yesterday, a federal judge sentenced Paul Smalls to life in prison after Smalls and two other men strangled Philip Gantz back in 2004. Smalls had been a jail guard and was in jail on some other charges at the time, and Gantz was supposed to testify about the drug trade in Roswell.
A transport officer is recovering this morning after a man on trial attacks him in the courtroom. 29-year-old Adrian Dagnino was in the process of being removed from an Eddy County courtroom Friday for being disruptive when authorities say he bit off an officer's finger.
You never know what's going to take place. You do the best to grab and apprehend the subject.
Dagnino was on trial for molesting a 9-year-old girl in Carlsbad. He was found guilty of those charges yesterday. He'll be sentenced for that later, but a judge also tacked on 180 days for contempt. The suspect is also now facing aggravated battery charges. An Albuquerque woman and her kids are lucky to be alive this morning after cops say a man tried attacking them with a chainsaw. Crystal Sanchez says she walked out of her home near Pennsylvania and Copper on Saturday after she heard a strange motor and cries coming from her kids. Police say that's when she saw 30-year-old Christopher Gutierrez chasing the kids with a chainsaw.
And I was like, what's going on? What is that? And he turned around and he came at me and I was like, oh my goodness.
Sanchez says Gutierrez then chased her around a parked car. That's when a neighbor grabbed a baseball bat and chased the man off. Now, police managed to arrest Gutierrez right after he got inside his truck. Gutierrez, who was on parole, is now in jail without bond. Police are not sure what set him off. Well, it has been 11 years since the worst terrorist attack in the United States, where more than 3,000 people died.
And today, people all across the country will be remembering 9/11. Here in Albuquerque, the remembrance will include a mass at Sacred Heart Church with a beam from the original World Trade Center. That's where News 13's David Romero is right now. Good morning, David.
Good morning, Matt. Well, as we mentioned last half hour, Sacred Heart Church here will be holding a mass tonight at 6 o'clock. And of course, this is the home of the World Trade Center beams that came to Albuquerque a few years ago. Now, this is just one of many remembrance ceremonies happening around the state, and a lot of them are going to start in just a few hours, and it's going to coincide with everything that happened back in September 2001. Now, for the 10th year in a row, Albuquerque firefighters will remember their fallen brothers with a stair climb up and down the Bank of Albuquerque building here in downtown Albuquerque with the equivalent of 110 stories. Now, that's the same number of floors that was in the former World Trade Center towers. Now, that will start just after 9. Then, Governor Susana Martinez and Albuquerque Mayor R.J. Berry will be on hand at the new Albuquerque Fire Station 2 building. This is on Gibson, just east of I-25. This will start at about 8:45. Now, for the 5th year in a row up in Rio Rancho at the Vista Verde Memorial Park, tonight's commemoration will start at 6, and this will also include the release of about 50 white doves. Now, at that same celebration and remembrance in Rio Rancho for honoring the people that died on September 2001, they will remember Sandoval County Fire Chief John Tibbetts, who passed away this July. Matt, back to you.
All right, thank you, David, for the information about all the events. And if you want to find out more about what is going on today, you'll find that information on our website, krqe.com, a little bit later this morning.